So 12 years ago, I'm sitting in an office at a Guitar Center in my interview. And the sales manager says to me, how much money would be good money to you? Now, I needed more money just to be broke. Any money would have been good money to me, but I didn't want to seem desperate. So I said, $500 a week. That's good money. Now watch what he said. Jason, have you ever received a check with a comma? Now let me paint you a picture. Mom and Dad split up when I was 2. Both were recovering alcoholics, drug addicts. Mom and I moved out to California and we struggled. Most of the time, we lived in our car. I remember one night, we ran out of food and money. And I said, how are we going to eat, Mom? Well, son, I got you, and you got me, and we got God. And we're going to be okay. I guess that's when I learned about faith. Well, eventually we moved into a house in Linwood. Not too far from here, actually. And this house was awful. I shared my bed with roaches. I watched rats crawl across my floor. We had to take showers through a garden hose. When we finally left, the city ordered this house condemned. So what do you think my answer to Jake was? No. I've never even seen a check with a comma. Well, he hired me, and I started my career. Now, fast forward 10 years, my phone rings with an offer of a lifetime to be the general manager of the legendary Hollywood Guitar Center. I still remember a night back in Linwood when things were bad, real bad. Have things ever been bad for you? They were bad for me. Well, I went to church that night, and the pastor must have been speaking right to me. Wide is the gate that leads to destruction, but the gate to life is narrow, and the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it. And sitting in church that night, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Do what the few do. Find that group of people that has the money I want, the lifestyle I want, and the happiness I want, and do what they do. Make the decision between doing what's right and what's popular. And that's what I did. There are 260 million people that live in America today. 3% own a library card and learn the wisdom of the world. 5% are willing to stand in front of an audience to speak. And only 5% are willing to reach for the next level. I learned this in my music career. If you'd have known me back in my high school days, you probably would have seen me playing drums. I was captain of the drum line, and probably the best snare drummer in my whole city. I mean, I was very confident about my playing. I was so confident I auditioned for one of the top drum corps in the United States. So I'm at my audition. I walk in the auditorium, stand right in the center of the stage, and stare the judges dead in the face. The head judge is Tom Float, and Tom is probably the finest snare drummer in the world. Well, I stood to attention, marked time with my feet, whipped out my sticks, took a deep breath, and played like my life depended on it. I was good. Well, Tom walks up to me, says, "You know, kid, you're pretty good. How much do you practice?" And now proudly I said, "An hour a day." Oh. Make it 4 hours. And maybe we'll use you next year. Have a nice day. Right? I'm thinking what you're thinking. Ouch! Well, I look back on it and I realized that for me, that was the day when I learned what the next level looks like. And I learned that even though I was good, I wasn't great. And I wouldn't be. What I needed was world-class instruction. And apparently, a lot of practice. And I know times are tough right now. I don't doubt that times are tough for you. But it's going to be okay. You know what they say? When the night is at its darkest, that's when the stars shine. And I wish for all of you to shine right now. Thank you for your time.